Hi everyone, this is Hiba from My Little Journal, and today I'm excited to be setting up my Passion Planner or June in my Passion Planner. But before I start, I wanted to share with you these beautiful washi tape sets that were sent to me by the Washi Tape Shop. They are gorgeous and I will be using them in my Passion Planner today. Let's start with this first set. It is called Fall Breeze. And yes, it is fallish, but I'm going to share with you later how I'm going to use this set in my Passion Planner, even though it's June. But you can totally use it for any month. It doesn't have to be fall, especially that a lot of the set has some females wearing different clothing. There's some sweaters in there. There's some t-shirts and some bags and things that you can use on any spread any time of the year. But as you can see, they are gorgeous, and I love that these are washi stickers. That is my favorite, just because you can create some really fun spreads with washi stickers. Let's move on. I want to share with you my second set, which is very cute. It is called Vintage Botanicals. Again, it has that beautiful browns, it has some birds and flowers, some of my favorite things. Well, the birds aren't my favorites. I'm not like a big bird person, but they are beautiful. I don't mind them on my planner. And again, these are washi stickers as well. Now, the next few are gold foiled. I can't remember if the birds were gold foiled. I don't think so, but the leaves and the flowers are. They are just beautiful, and they add really beautiful accents to your planner and journals. As you can see, they're very simple, basic, and that's what I love to add into my planners, just because I like simplicity. I basically build off of that each and every month. This next one is called Winter Impressions. Again, yes, it is winter themed. Now, this one is a little bit harder to use in June, but they are beautiful and they are new sets. So you can grab these while they are still in stock and just end up using them in the winter. And by the way, you can still use a lot of the little pieces like the clothing and stuff like that. You can still use those in your June spreads, but I think I'm going to hold off with this winter one. Just end up using it in winter. Again, love the colors, love everything about this set, and I can't wait for winter so I can set up my Passion Planner using these washi tapes. Now, this fourth set is the Spring Gallery. This one you can definitely use in your summer spreads, just because there's a lot of flowers, some fun little words and sayings, and obviously there's a lot of like hello spring and rainbows, which I love. And again, you can use them in your June spreads. I love this one with the stamps. This one's so colorful and fun, very summery. And I can totally see myself like using this as like layering for some of my stamping. I shall try that at some point. But there's some bicycles, again, a lot of flowers, and I'm really excited for this set, and I'm excited to use it on my spreads today. So this next set is called Spring Garden, and I'm loving the flowers. This one is so, so pretty. So this one is not stuck, like it's stuck on paper, just so you can remove it easily, which I really love about the washi tape shop, because the washi tape doesn't stick to itself. It lasts longer. And I love that about their washi tape. I also love that this set has some frames. Now, if you have a permanent marker, you can totally write inside these frames or add a little photo or some stamping. You will need some archival ink for that, but it works perfectly. I've tried it and I love doing that because you just have the frame. All you have to do is add it to your planner and write something fun right in the center. Now, my last washi tape here is a very wide one, but it is gorgeous. It is gold foiled, has some frames, some birds, and you basically don't even have to add a lot to your spread using this washi. I would totally just add that in the corner of my planner and be done because that washi tape is just gorgeous. Anyways, let's start setting up June in my passion planner. But before I start setting up June, actually, I wanted to share with you how I print my little mini photos for my calendar. I do use my Canon Ivy printer. I print 4 photos on one photo sticker sheet, and then I add them in my calendar. And because I'm setting up June a little bit earlier, so I'm not done with May yet, I just went ahead and just filled in some of those empty spots. I try my hardest to take a photo a day. If I don't, it's not a big deal. It's not like a rule that I have set for myself, but I try really hard to do that. And as you can see, that's how May looks like. It's almost done with. And I'm ready for June because I just need time to relax. It was a very busy month last month, and I'm just ready for June. Anyways, as always, I'm gonna cover up that column, and I used my Stationery Pal craft sticker paper. I'm gonna use my Everyday Explorers number stamps, and these numbers represent the week numbers, just like to keep track of the week. And then I'm gonna use the stamp set, I believe it's from Studio Calico if I'm not mistaken, but it has a fun little line with a dot, and I just thought it was cute. It kind of gives some space in between the numbers. So I'm basically just gonna end up stamping that and calling that column done. And then I'm going to be documenting what I'm reading. I always try to use that space underneath my calendar to document how many books I read for the month. I do end up using the book covers and printing those out to fill in that space. But this month I'm using my Syncopation book stamp to stamp the little cart, the book cart. It's so cute. I just had to use it. I also stamped the open book because that's where I'm going to hold how many books I read for the month. And I just decided to use some of my new die cuts from Illustrated Faith to fill in the opposite page, just to bring in some color. I usually don't do that, but this month I have these larger words and larger die cuts that filled up the space nicely, so I just went with it. Gonna color in my book cart, and then we can move on to the first week of June. So if you've been around for a while, you know I use this side column to keep up with my social media. I usually use a stencil to draw out a box, but this month I'm using a square stamp. It just makes the process easier and faster. And I have the stamp, so might as well use it. I'm basically stamping out 3 boxes in each column for each week. And then I'm gonna draw in YouTube, Instagram, and my Reading with Hiba book club. That way I can kind of keep up with how many followers I have and subscribers as a content creator. That is important to me, just to see my growth. So once I draw in the icons, I will grab my gray marker and color in the icons, and I will add a drop shadow as well. I've said this before, I try to keep my pages, I don't know, slightly neutral, just in case I end up adding anything and it doesn't clash with whatever I end up adding to my spread. So that's why I always go for my gray marker to color in my icons. I also like to fill in this week's focus with some stamping. I have a lot of great stamps from Everyday Explorers to fill in these boxes, just like words of encouragement, important things that I think I need to remind myself with. So I just use those stamps to fill in my week's focus. I prefer my stamps over my handwriting. I just think, I just can't write like that and it looks better, so I just go for it. I also will be stamping my weekend OMG finally. That is also an Everyday Explorer stamp. I love this stamp. As you can see, it's very, very black because I've inked it up so many times. I might have to get myself a new set because it is like falling apart at this point. Now, this bottom corner, I always use it for my currentlies, which I will be using some of my own stamps to stamp out a Kindle, a TV set, and some Happy Mail, because that's what I like to keep up with in my currentlies. I like to look back and see what I was reading, what I was watching, and any Happy Mail that's coming in. It's just fun to have that little corner to keep up with that stuff. And as you guys know, I just love keeping up with my currentlies. So it's just a great place for me to keep up with it. Now that space is actually for you to kind of keep up with your projects. Obviously, I'm not using it for that. So I'm just going to cover up the title with some washi tape. I usually write currently over it. I color it in with black marker and then write currently. But this week I'm changing it up, or this month I'm changing it up, and I'm using some thin washi tape to add in that space instead. Now, while I have my stamps out, I do want to stamp reading in that box above each day of the week. That's how I keep up with my reading, if I read that day or I didn't, of using that space for my reading. So I'm basically stamping it on every single day, every single week. So I'm basically on repeat. So that's why I edited that out. And now we can do the fun stuff. Every week, I will be decorating and creating some fun spreads corner where my weekend is, because I usually don't have major plans, and that bottom portion of each day is to document work, and I don't work on the weekend, so I like to use that space to add some fun decorations there and add some color to my spreads. This week I'm using the Paper Person Shop LGBTQ kit. I'm really excited for this kit, and I'm going to be using the stamp as well. As you can see, I trimmed down my 3x4 card and it says Happy Pride Month, and I did stamp the rainbow as well. And I think I end up coloring in my rainbow and also stamping Spread Love, Not Hate. I really love, I'm going to say this again, but I really love this kit. It's just gorgeous. And because it is Pride Month, so I wanted to represent at least 1 week out of my month and kind of use that kit. Also love in that stamp set, there is the heart hands, and I want to use that as well. And as you guys know, in the bottom corner, I always use that space for my mind maps. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to start my mind map right now and just stamp the heart hands right in the center, and then I can build off of that when the week starts. Oh, I totally forgot. Before I end up stamping my heart hands, I do stamp like Monday Madness and on repeat between the days of the week. I just try to stick to stamps that don't really mean much, if that makes sense. Just in case it doesn't go with my planning for the week, just stick to things that, I'll just stamp like Monday Madness on a Monday because I'm sure my Monday is going to be mad because they usually are. And then I end up stamping my heart hands for my mind map. I color it in. I'm also going to write out work because that top portion is personal planning and then the bottom portion is work planning. So I like to separate those. I remembered at some point that I need to stamp my YouTube videos. So I just use this little icon from an Everyday Explorers stamp set. Stamp it in red on every single week. So basically, I post on Mondays and Wednesdays. Sometimes if there's some releases, I'll post on a different day. but I like to stamp out my little YouTube icon ahead of time. Anyways, I am done with my first week. Let's move on to our second week in June, where I'm going to be using my Washi Tape Shop washi tape for my spread. I'm going to start by stamping summer. I'm doing this whole ombre effect, and I wanted it to be bright and beautiful. So I end up using some yellow ink and some orange, and I'm basically just stamping the top with some yellow and the bottom with some orange, and that way I'm able to create an ombre effect using my stamps. And then I'm going to use my washi tape to add some color and interest to that little corner of my week. And I start with this girl wearing some denim overalls. She's so cute. She has that yellow shirt on, so it matched my summer. And I'm going to use all the little washi tapes to fill in that space. So I add a camera, I add a water bottle, a book, I believe some coffee, some butterflies. And like I said earlier, even though these washi tapes are fall themed, it still worked for summer. They were colorful enough, and it represents summer. I'm going to be taking photos. I'm going to be reading a book. I'm going to be drinking iced coffee. So it worked out perfectly. I will end up grabbing my favorite flower little mini stamp from Everyday Explorers to add some black ink in between, just because it was very colorful. I like to mute it down a little bit with some black ink. Okay, I'm almost done with my second week. I'm just going to end up stamping Sunkissed and I think Summer Vibes. Again, just using basic stamps because I don't know what my plans are for the week. So I'd kind of stick to stamps that work for anything that I've planned for that day. And then we can move on to our third week, where again, I'm going to be using my Washi Tape Shop washi. And I'm going to add this beautiful floral washi right on the bottom. And then I'm going to use this Polaroid stamp from Studio Calico to stamp a Polaroid. And before I stamped it, I thought to myself, oh, wait, I can use more of my washi tapes with one of the girls, kind of trim off the bottom portion of her and just have her holding the flowers in the Polaroid. Just thought it was cute, so I end up doing that. I just use my X-Acto knife, trim off the bottom portion of her, and it looks like it's a picture. I think that looked so cute. And I will also use a different set from the Washi Tape Shop, add something to my Polaroid. So I thought I would add blooming right on the bottom, but I end up not really liking it. So what I end up doing is removing it and adding it vertically against my Polaroid. And I'm happy I switched it up just because it brought color to the opposite side of my Polaroid. The blooming just looked too long for the Polaroid, if that makes sense. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and color in my Polaroid. I'm going to grab this other set that was sent to me from the Washi Tape Shop, and I'm going to use those longer flowers to sit around my Polaroid, like as if it's coming from the bottom, if that makes sense. It just looks like the Polaroid is growing between the flowers. I will also use the flowers to bring in color from the opposite side, and I'm just adding them in between my days of the week. That way it doesn't get in the way of my planning. And I believe I finish up the spread by stamping my mini flower around my Polaroid and flowers. I will also stamp Note to Self directly on my Polaroid, that bottom portion of my Polaroid. And I will stamp Today as well and call week 3 done. Okay, so I kind of lied. I was not done with week 3. I forgot to write my work and separate my personal planning from my work planning. Once I write that out, I can move on to week 4. For week 4, I wanted to play. I had this rectangle stamp from Studio Calico. I think it was maybe a ticket or something like that. I'm not even sure. But I thought it would be fun to stamp it randomly and even mask it off a little bit to create like a fun frame, and I can fill them out with stamping and washi tape. So I'm just doing this randomly. It's like there's no right or wrong way to do this. I'm just having fun with it. I'm creating a fun little collage, and once I'm done stamping, I'm going to fill them out with some washi tape. What I love about my washi tape from the washi tape shop is that they are sticker washies. So you can use them to fill out something like this. Even if you used circles or boxes or frames, it still works. And you're going to see here, I will trim off some of my washi tape so it can fill in the box. I even remembered at some point, I can use that bottom portion of the female that I used a few spreads before. So I just end up trimming the bottom portion off so it can fit in between the boxes. And it worked perfectly, so no washi tape was gone to waste. And I will add some butterflies, some flowers, tank tops, just fun little things that represent the summer. Love, love the overalls. So cute. And I will also be stamping as well. So I'm going to go through my stamps, find stamps that are summery to add in between the washi tape and the boxes and to fill in the space, and also to use some black ink to mute everything down. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm done. I'm just going to add some drop shadowing to my boxes. But then I decide I want to stamp a little title for this section. And I end up stamping out in the sunshine as my large title for this corner. And I love this spread the most. I think it just looks so fun, so colorful. And I was able to use some of my washi and my stamping, and it's just basically different. Anyways, I'm almost done with all my spreads. I'm just going to end up adding this beautiful yellow washi tape. I believe I got this from Illustrated Faith. It's just so pretty and so summery. So I end up adding it to a few of my spreads. And then I'm just going to fill in whatever I forgot to fill in earlier. So again, work. I constantly forget about it, even though it's very important. But once I'm done with that, I call my June setup done. Don't forget, I will be adding all the links down in the description box for you. I also do have a discount code for 10% off at the washi tape shop. Just use the code MyLittleJournal10 and you can get 10% off your next purchase. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. And if you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. And I hope to see you guys very soon. Bye.